it's Vampire Get in my kitchen. I am finishing up my dinner for this afternoon, which I'm about to take to my mother as soon as it's done. This one is really so fast and easy and simple. I have a recipe. It's hardly even a recipe. It's going to be easy. What I am making is tortellini, cheese tortellini. You can buy them frozen in the store, with a rosé sauce. If you don't want a rosé sauce, it's basically just your nice jar of pasta sauce, any kind of marinara sauce, pasta sauce. I love this brand because it doesn't have big chunks in it. I don't like the big chunks of tomatoes. I like it all, you know, smooth. And this one is tomato basil. I like this brand. I like the glass jar too. So then what you add is some half and half. You could also add heavy cream, but this doesn't have as much fat. So the recipe calls for half and half. So what I'm going to do is flip this around, turn this down, and show you what I am doing here at the stove. So here I have my little pan, and all I'm going to add in here is a jar. Now this calls for 2 cups of sauce. This is actually 3 cups. So we're going to increase this recipe a little bit to accommodate the amount that we have here. I have water boiling over there. As soon as it boils, we're going to put these tortellini in, and then I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to add in my sauce. Now if you want to make your own spaghetti sauce, you know, your own pasta sauce, you go right ahead. We used to do that, make our own, because they didn't really have anything. I'm gonna turn on the light. We didn't have anything all that good before. The original spaghetti sauces, they aren't very good. But you know what? In the many years time going by, they've improved them a lot. They're pretty good. So just find your one you like, any kind. If you want to add meat to this, you can, but I'm not going to. This is the frozen section. Celentano, if that's how you say that, I don't know. Cheese tortellini. They also have meat tortellini if you'd rather have that. But they're these little pasta, little knobbies that have cheese, and they're like ricotta cheese. They're really good, and they're so easy. So you bring your water to a boil, and you cook it for 2 to 3 minutes, and they're done. I mean, that's it. So it's really already done. You just have to heat them. Okay, so then this calls for 2 cups. This is actually 3 cups of sauce. Like I said, I like extra sauce anyway. And then my half and half, I'm going to need a cup. No, see, 3/4 of a cup. And then I need half of it again. I need 3/4 plus 3/8, which is a cup and an eighth. So that's like a cup of cream, or a half and half. A cup plus 2 tablespoons is what that is. I'm trying to measure it here right and see what I'm doing. Hold on, I'm going to the microwave because I don't have to bend over so far to see it. Okay, so here's my half and half. So I'm going to add also, let's see. It doesn't tell me to do this, but I like to doctor this sauce up a little bit. It has basil in it, but I add some Italian seasoning. And I just, you know, I also, if I don't have this, I add oregano. And so I'm just going to shake some in there. That's not a measurement. I don't know, what, half a teaspoon or something. And then I'm going to take a spoon. Let's take I like these long-handled teaspoons. And then I'm going to pour this in here. And that instantly is rosé sauce. Poof, there you go. It's just like a creamy sauce now. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love sauce like this. But if you have issues with tomato sauce being too acidy, if you do this, that'll kind of fix that for you. Because the cream will counteract that. Okay, so now look, we have boiling water. You see? Yeah, you can kind of see it boiling. So I've got this turned on as well. A little bit more of that to add in. A few drips. Stir it well. So look how simple that is. Add cream to your, that's half and half. Add it to your spaghetti sauce, and poof, you have rosé sauce. This is one of my favorite ways to have spaghetti sauce, is to make it a rosé sauce, and I never do it, and I should. I just don't ever think of it. Okay, so we have boiling water. We're going to put in, this is a 19-ounce bag. This is the smaller bag of it. If you want more, of course, make more. All right. You can do the bigger bag. You just have to have more sauce, too. So you put it in there and you're going to wait for it to come back to a boil. I'm going to get my little, and it's frozen, so it might take it a minute. Take my little bamboo spoon there and stir it. I'm also going to get some Parmesan cheese because it tells you to put some Parmesan cheese. It says a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm probably going to put the cheese in it after I mix it together. Just opening my cheese. I like to get this cheese that they shred for you. They have it already shredded in the store, but I keep it in the freezer so it never goes bad. Because if you just keep it in the refrigerator, you've got to use that up pretty quick. It goes bad. But it will not go bad in the freezer. And then, you know, you don't even have to thaw it to use it. See, because it stays all broken up. See? It stays loose. And it'll thaw in a second, so you don't even have to thaw it to use it. I love that. But it won't go bad. That way you could buy that nice cheese and not have it go bad. So I'm going to turn that down a little. You just kind of want to simmer this a little bit. Basically, you just want it to be hot. So I'm still waiting for this to return to a boil. I might go ahead and put the lid back on it. While we are waiting, let me show you from last night my cake. Oh, look at that. And pay no attention to the fact that somebody ate the corner out. I have no idea how that happened. But I've got plastic wrap on it. But look at that ganache on top of that vanilla cake. And I taste tested it. It is really good. It's really good. So much better than a box cake mix. No artificial flavors in that. Okay. So as soon as we get this returning to a boil, we're going to boil it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then those will float to the top. And then we're just going to mix that together, and look, instant dinner. You see how fast this was. Just rinsing out my jar. These are neat little jars if you like to save jars, keep something in. That's a good jar. Of course, I like mason jars. Mason jars are so nice. They seal so well. Their lids do. But that is something you could save. Okay, I'm going to turn this down some more. Like I said, I don't need it that crazy hot. I don't want it like boiling. Just simmering, but it's nice and hot. Let's see the little chunks of basil in there. Oh, okay, they're starting to rise to the top here. We still haven't returned to a boil yet, though. Come on, boil. That's because they were frozen. But that's what you're supposed to do when they're frozen. Now we're just watching a watch pot boil. That's all we're doing. So while we're waiting, I'm going to clean off my counter here. Clean off my stove. Let's clean a little while we're waiting. That way when I come home from eating with Mom, I don't have any cleaning to do. Kind of clean as you go. You come home to a clean kitchen. It's like, yes! Woo! That's so nice. It's clean. I'm putting a few things in the dishwasher. I have a few knives. I'm putting in my knife holder. See, a few knives. Got my little block over here. So I've got my... Come on, boil! Boil! I'm just waiting. That up later. Okay, there we go. Got a knife. That was my cake sampling knife. Let's put that in here as well. There we go. Oh, I've got a little room back in here. There we go. Oh my goodness, I had no idea this was going to take this long to return to a boil. Well, let me get out my strainer because I'm going to have to strain those. So I just have a mesh strainer. I'm going to put that in the sink. And we will be ready to strain whenever this decides to join the party. It's bubbling. It's bubbling. It's bubbling. It's bubbling in the pan. Oh, well, let's take a look here, since we're waiting, to the rest of my meal, because I wanted a vegetable with this, so I made some marinated cucumbers. This has cucumbers and onion. Look at that. And it's sat overnight, so let's have a little taste test. Let's stir. It's got like a vinaigrette dressing. I'm curious as to whether I'm going to like the onions or not. Let's have an onion and find out. So I don't usually like raw onions, but let's see. Oh, boiling. Three minutes. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like those onions once they've marinated in this stuff. Oh, that's good. All right, let's try a cucumber. That was homemade dressing. That's perfect for summer. All this is cucumbers and onions. You've marinated in a vinaigrette herb dressing. And then we have a nice green vegetable. And that is going to Mom's for dinner. Oh, I'm just about gagging on a cucumber. And she really likes onion. She loves raw onion. So I think she's going to like that. So see, I almost needed a bigger pan here, didn't I? That has filled up my pan. Trying to keep it in the pan. Some of those tortellini, sometimes some of them fall apart, but it's fine. It still works. I think I'm going to put the lid on. Keep it turned down a little bit. That way it'll kind of steam the top as well. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we are done. So I have a little tray. Here's my little tray. It's just a sheet pan, but I use this to take everything to Mom. So I'm going to put that on there. Put my cucumbers on my tray. I'm going to put my cake. Oh, cake on the tray. Oh, no boiling over. No, no, no. We'll tilt it a little. Maybe I will. It doesn't want to tilt. Let's turn it down then. Right, 1 more minute. 1 more minute and we are ready to go. Everything ready. Let's move this over. I don't really want to set that on the stove though because that's going to melt my icing. Let's put it over here. We have 40 seconds and we're ready to put this together. That's cheese tortellini, which you can buy in the frozen section of the store. So easy. And this is a marinara spaghetti pasta sauce of your choice, mixed with half and half, and a little Italian seasoning. That's all. Such a simple, quick dinner. Plus those marinated cucumbers will make it so perfect for summer. And I like the fact that cucumbers to me are like cleansing to your palate. And anytime you have something with garlic and Italian, stuff like this, you want something to cleanse your mouth out, don't you? Kind of want to cleanse that. There's our time. We're going to turn that off, we're going to turn everything off. We're going to pour this in our strainer. And cucumbers are really good to me for cleansing the palate. I also like to sometimes have like lemon pie or lemon cake or something lemon if I serve Italian, because it also is cleansing. It's good. But I didn't make the lemon pie today. I made the cake, so we're going to have the cucumbers. Okay, so, oops. There's my empty pan that has more room in it. So we're going to put our tortellinis. Look how cute those are. They're so easy. And they're good. Now these are the cheese tortellinis. They also have meat ones, I think, if you'd rather have meat. And then my rosé sauce. And I'm just going, now this is going to be a little extra sauce because, you know, pasta absorbs sauce. I like extra. If I have too much, I'd rather have too much than not enough. So we're going to put that in there. Because too much, you can just leave it behind. But this was 3 cups of pasta sauce where it asked for 2. But, I mean, the jar comes with 3 cups. So I'm going to stir that around. Ooh, look at that. So it'll actually probably be better the next day, but that's okay. We aren't waiting until the next day. Then it says to add a 1/4 cup. Look how good that looks and hot and steamy. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. This is my 1/4 cup. I love these cup measuring spoons. It's perfect 1/4 cup. Just sprinkle that in. You could sprinkle this on your individual serving also if you'd rather. But I'm not doing that today. And I'm just probably going to stir it. You could leave it on top, but I think I'm going to stir it so it kind of gets through the whole thing. And like I said, you could sprinkle you some extra on top. And there we go. There is dinner. Dinner. A little marinated cucumber salad. Cucumber and onions. And chocolate cake, homemade vanilla cake with chocolate ganache frosting for dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And let me see. Flip around. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and go take this dinner to my mom. She and I are going to eat. And until later today, I'll come back and do my ministry live. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll put the recipes in the comments. I guess I could put it in because I've done this in about 3 or 4 videos now in pieces. I'll put it in all the comments. So, if you would like to try this yourself, I really recommend this because it's so fast and so easy and yummy. Have a good day. Bye.